Croeso, welcome to Ysgol Maes yn Erwen. We're very pleased to see so many of you here tonight, and of course we're very excited to present our heritage play. It's been over a year now since we started our research into the history of coal mining in Ystrad area, thanks of course to a grant from the Heritage Lottery Fund. The results of our research have culminated in the play which you'll see tonight. A lot of work has gone into the background to this play, starting off with a visit to Big Pit, and then we researched then using the Glamorgan archives, the Richard Burton collections, we visited the Miners' Library in Swansea, and we've also used the work of the local miners as well, from the point of view that we had an oral history event where local miners came into the school and were interviewed. The words and the scenes that you'll see tonight are all based on that research. All the evidence has come from what we have found out about the area, and I hope then that you'll recognise some of the events and some of the words that you hear. It's a very different type of play that we've got for you tonight, from the point of view that each scene will be depicted in different parts of the school. And guides are going to take you on the tour, on a journey to each of the different scenes, to explore the story of Ystrad, which is indeed the name of our play, Ystrad, Tell My Story. It's a story that's been waiting to be told, and we hope that you're going to enjoy the experience. Your guides can be identified by their badges. They're waiting for you as we speak at the back of the hall here. And they will be able to tell you everything that you need to know, plus of course the programme that you've purchased tonight as well. Your guides will help you in terms of if you require anything, for example toilets, or if you need to use the lifts, and they'll be there to help you during the course of the whole night. There will be a short interval, and I'm sure you're all waiting for that because you've all had an invitation to the ball, which also coincides with the interval. We hope you enjoy your evening and our rendition of Ystrad, Tell My Story. I'm now going to hand over to the guides who will take over from here on in. And as I said, anything that you require during the course of the night, they will be there to help you. So as I said, I'll now hand over to the guides who are waiting at the back, and they'll come forward now, and your journey will start. Enjoy your night.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Firstly, we will be going to the committee room. Information on this can be found on page 4 of your programme. This scene is based on the minutes and meetings of records from Ystrad Miners' Welfare Hall. So if you'd all like to follow us.
Join the strike! So stop this tourist attack, guys. Let's go. Good evening. Come in, stand around. Let's see if anyone wants to take them. Come all day. Let's do the committee now. Right. The spare seat. You like to come and take it?
Dear. There we are.
Apologies for absence.
Oh, Mr. Roger Thomas. He's in choir rehearsals for the Daniel Prothero concert.
Mr. Elias Williams. Obviously.
Terrible business. Any news on the accident?
Not as yet, Mr. Chairman.
Anyone else? No? Good. First on the agenda this evening is the planning for the ball and supper to celebrate the opening of the new Miners' Welfare Hall. Mr. Williams, you are to speak on this?
Yes, it has been decided that I am MC for the evening. The Metronome Augmented Band has been booked.
One of these newfangled dance bands?
Yes.
Oh, I suppose we have to move with the times. I hope they won't be too loud.
And how are the arrangements for the supper going, Mr. Johnson?
Well, Mr. Chairman, we can leave that in the safe hands of the Ladies' Committee.
And transport, Mr. Alexander?
The bus has been booked to provide late transport up and down the valley after the ball.
Time.
2 a.m.
That late, Mr. Chairman.
It is a special occasion, Mr. Williams, and we've all worked hard to provide. We must make sure everyone enjoys themselves.
Can I just come in then, Mr. Chairman? I agree that this is an extremely important occasion for this valley, and we have all given generously to the fund, and it should be marked appropriately. Could we please make sure that the dress code befits the occasion?
Yes, does anyone have any ideas?
How about black tie?
Black tie.
Excuse me, but this is Ystrad lace, not Hollywood. Who do you think you are, Mr. Johnson? Fred Astaire? Many of us have not got these things, and these are hard times. I take on board what Mr. Johnson is saying, but with respect, let us keep things in perspective.
What about flannel suits for the gentlemen?
Yes, you.
I would be willing to propose a flannel ball, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Alexander.
I second the proposal.
All those in favour? Against? Abstentions? The motion is carried. Flannel ball it is.
We'll be singing.
Sit down.
Sit down.
Disrespect! Mr. Davis, the details so far.
Very well, Mr. Yates. The ball to celebrate the opening of the new Miners' Welfare Hall will be held on Friday, July 13th.
Unlucky for
But
some.
not for us, Mr. Alexander.
Friday 13th, 1934. Dancing will start at 8 and the ball will finish at 2 a.m. Transport to run up and down the valley only as far as Ponty has been arranged by the bus.
If he's sober.
Dress code will be flannels. A dance band has been booked to accommodate the ladies. Mr. Johnson, Mr. Thomas, Mr. Tom Williams and Mr. Elias Williams have volunteered to be MCs for the evening. As decided in the last meeting, attendance is by ticket only at a cost of 3 and 6 inclusive. Committee members only sell tickets. The Ladies' Committee will be in charge of the food.
Anything to add by anyone?
Mr. Chairman, are the decorations in hand?
I was coming to that, Mr. Williams. Bunting will hang in the hall and tables will be formally laid and a seating plan put in place to accommodate members of the committee.
Thank you very much.
It will also be necessary at the next meeting to discuss the furnishes for the rooms. There are a lot. Games room,
Reading room,
Library, lesser hall.
committee room.
Small committee room.
dance floor, main hall and stage. Next on the agenda is the setting up of the Welfare Committee. Mr. Lewis, you are to speak on this?
Yes. There has been a request to raise money for shoes for local children. And this will be a major aim for our new committee.
Shoes? What nonsense. I didn't own a pair of shoes till I was 15. It never did me any harm. A scholar Warren took a school trip to London. We have people in this area starving. The Welfare Committee should be looking after them.
Milk for children. That's what's needed first and foremost.
No, one close for the winter.
Yes.
Milk for children. Milk for children. Milk for children. Milk for children. Milk for children.
Order! I will not have disrespect and disorder in this new committee room. I adjourn this meeting. Thank you.
Now it's on to the chapel scene found on page 5 of your programme. This scene addresses the history of the first independent chapel built on Oddfellow Street. Would you like to follow me, please?
There's some traffic coming up that bypass.
Being late for chapel is a sin. And a sin is to fall asleep in chapel. It's a good job that we did not sleep when our chapel needed to be built. Fine men, your father among them, Mrs. Jones, who carried the rocks from the mountains with their bare hands. Men who toiled after a day's labour to build the fine chapel we have today. And they did it in the name of the Lord, and they did it for us. Sin! It is a word that you hear a lot. It is easy to become immune to the word. It becomes a concept, an abstract. But sin is real. It is as real as the storms beneath our feet, and we must fight against it. Alcohol, blasphemy, fornication, diabology, Satan is all around us, as God is all around us. It is up to us to choose between the paths, but remember, God is watching you. He knows your sins, and you will account for them. Let us pray, everyone. Our Father.
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses.
Oh dear, it's God's judgment on us all.
It's my fault. I swore at my husband yesterday. I only called him a lazy bugger.
No, I saw your husband rolling home drunk Friday night. Mr. Pugh always said alcohol would be our downfall.
It's not something God would want to pull chapel down for, is it?
Oh, get a grip, woman. It's put back yet. It's the mine workings below us.
I knew that mine would be a death us all.
There's a crack in the floor.
Straight to hell.
Don't look down, you look the devil straight in the face.
You'll have Satan to answer to.
You'll have me to answer to unless you all calm down. Now come on, let's get everybody out of here before the chapel comes down on our heads.
Quick, everyone out!
Next, we're off to look over the garden fence. If you'd like to follow me this way.
Oh, Shemai.
Oh, how are you, Dennis?
Oh, busy day today.
Monday's always the same.
At least the weather's fine.
For once.
Hey. Have you heard? What? That Watkins girl is in the family way.
Never. And her grandfather minister too.
Disgusting.
I'm not surprised really. Her mother, neck curtains in the window and no sheets on the bed.
Not that I want to gossip, but they were all talking about it in chapel. She won't be able to keep in mind, just like we all know that Peggy Richards hasn't got a sister, and Miss Richards has to be 50 and she's a day.
Oh, by the way, I went to Spencer Jones' clothes shop for a Bobby. Signed up for the Christmas club I have. Oh, expensive but lovely fashions. They look like Nelson Eddy in that film, Rosalie. I'm buying him the latest sports shirt and socks to match. I'm sure Elias got matching shirt and socks.
No, he hasn't. Hey, talking of pictures, anything good in your story this week?
A Star is Born.
Oh, Janet Gaynor. I love her. Got to see that, to see the latest fashions. And there's a film with Greta Garbo, Marie Walewska or something.
Oh, you hate that foreign rubbish. Didn't mind it when we couldn't hear it. Bring back the silent films. It hasn't been the same since those talkies started.
Oh, I know what you mean. And poor Di Piano's out of a job now because of those talkies.
Well, at least he's got his music.
Yes.
Oh, by the way, are you going on the Sunday school picnic outing?
I didn't know there was one.
Yes, man. It's the Sunday school picnic outing to Porthcawl. Didn't I ask you?
No, they didn't.
They've hired a 32-seater from Cross Garage.
Oh, you'd be lucky to get there. The motor hers is the only reliable vehicle he's got, and even then you might be late for your own funeral.
Oh, talking of funerals, have you heard? Betty White-Knob's got a new cooker from the South Wales Electric Power Company.
That shop up on Brecon Road?
Yes, that's the one.
Oh, trust her. All mods cons but no grain to our washing.
Yes, polishing the front step and there's dirt under the bed. That's gonna be what a slut.
Oh, you too. My husband's trying to get some sleep up here. He's making chips, you know.
Alright, keep your hair on. Miserable bugger. Hey, got to go anyway. Coal's been delivered and I've got to make sure I said the coal and give me all small again. Nearly dampened my fire it did. We nearly had to have cold tea and my Elias nearly had to have a lukewarm bath.
The swine.
He's a tight bugger, aye. Hey, I bet you're in to bring you the rest of the mail later.
Oh, and you can't come in now. We finished with that.
Alright. And hey, for God's sake, don't tell anyone about walking to be pregnant. They'll have my guts for garters. I promise I wouldn't tell anyone.
Alright.
See you later.
And you.
Ta-da!
Hey, Daisy, have you heard the latest?
Next up is the women healing scene, which shows the importance of women offering cures and herbal remedies when accidents occurred in the mines. If you'd like to follow me, please.
I've heard that this is the best place for gathering herbs.
I know, they're all ripe and they're fresh.
Oh, yeah. Oh, and I heard that this is a really good place for nettles, so if you could grab some of those for me, that would be great. Hold on for now, I just need to clear my head a bit. Okay. Make sure you pick the youngest nettles you can find. They won't sting you and they have the best properties for the nettle tea carry. Diacordian has a bad chest and his wife Margaret has asked me to help him.
I think I know by now which nettle's the best.
Actually, whilst you're at it, can you pick some of that wild garlic? I do always need a good supply for when I'm called down to go to the pit to treat any wounds. The healing and cleaning properties are the best you can get, especially in all the dust and grime down there. And Carrie, everyone knows you're the best when it comes to the herbs. Thank God we have you to help the men if they're injured.
It's not me. The knowledge has been passed down through the ancient ones, the physicians of Mudbay. It is important that the knowledge isn't lost.
True. You know what? Looking at that, this reminds me of the story of the daughter of William John of Abercrombie, who went gathering herbs just like we are. They say she was walking around here, but didn't keep to the path and got lost. They say she was wandering about for hours and hours until she met a strange woman. They say she was a gypsy. She took her back to the path, and before she left, she said that she would read her palm. This is what she said.
You have special powers. You have the ancient knowledge of the flowers and the herbs. You will help many people. I see darkness. I see tunnels. I see horses and men in your future. You will live a long life, but be careful. I also see sadness.
At this, the girl said, "You must tell me more."
What did the gypsy say?
Nothing. The gypsy refused to go on and disappeared as fast as she had come.
My, that is a strange tale. What do you think it means?
Well, some people say it wasn't a gypsy at all, but the ghost of Mudfire, telling the girl she must carry on with the tradition of healing. Other people, like me, think it was the work of the witch of Ystrad and Lice.
Get on, man. They say that story's just an old wives' tale.
Anyone who says that is a fool. Her spirit still haunts this valley.
Sorry, Mavis. I thought they were just stories. Remind me what she did.
Well, she put a curse on John Brunton Jr., the old tramroad engineer. You see, the witch's son attacked him, but then when Brunton's dog frightened him away, he stole a handkerchief of Brunton's washing line.
Ah, well, everyone knows you need someone's possessions in order to place a spell on them.
Exactly. The witch then got her own back on Brunton by placing her cow to graze in a field belonging to him.
Not much of a revenge, if you ask me.
But let me finish. Everyone in the area was afraid of the witch and would give her free food and grazing in case she cursed them. That stupid Scotsman didn't know this and took her cow to the pound at the Lamb and Flag in Abercrombie until a 30-shilling fine was paid.
Wow, he was risking it.
What happened next, you see, was the witch put a spell on Brunton's horses so they wouldn't hook up to the wagons to collect Brunton's timber. The horse just kept on springing back and moving up. In the end, they had to change their collars because that was what the witch had cursed.
She won then?
Well, not really. My favourite part, you see. Brunton dressed up as a wizard in a long robe and a wig, and whilst he was dressed up, forced the son to confess that he had stolen the handkerchief and attacked him on horseback. He then docked his pay for 30 shillings.
But what about the witch?
Well, Bunton might have won in the end, but the power of the witch was still feared in the area, and her magic has since passed on to some to this day.
Mavis, you know that story about the girl who got lost in Cobra? Is that story about you, Mavis? 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 Mavis?
I hope you've all got your dancing shoes on now, as now it's time to go to the ballroom. There's also a lift available if anyone needs it. If you can follow me.
Welcome. Welcome to the grand opening of the Ball and Supper, celebrating the opening of the Ystrad Miners' Welfare Hall. It's an absolute pleasure to see so many of you here. You all scrub up well, if I might say so. I won't get in the way of your enjoyment, but a few words are in order. Tonight's event would not have been possible without the hard work of the committee, and of course the ladies who organised the supper. If you could show your appreciation. Why is it cause for such celebration? Well, you don't need me to tell you that it represents years of hard work, fundraising, and contributions given from hard-earned, and let's face it, often meagre, miners' wages.
Can I say a few words, sir? Every one of us here has gone without in order to provide for these excellent facilities we have today.
The library and reading room for bettering ourselves and our children.
Newspapers available to all in order to keep us in touch with the country and indeed the world. Our first class stage will host our music, drama and eisteddfods. But we must not forget the importance of relaxation and social aspects of the building. Our first class stage will host our music, drama and eisteddfods. But we must not forget the importance of the committee rooms, oh so important for the smooth running and organisation of all our cultural events.
This building is not bricks and mortar. It is education, culture and entertainment all under the same roof, built by the miners, for the miners.
Well said, Mr. Pritchard, Mr. Davis. We now come to the unveiling of the plaque. I call upon Mr. Yates, as chairman of the committee, to do the honours. Mrs. Jones, you're sitting in front of the plaque.
Oh, sorry.
I need to go to the toilet. You must clear it.
Yes, miss. Please return to your seat. Mr. Yates?
It gives me great pleasure to declare this hall open. Music, please, and enjoy the rest of your evening.
Yes, I'm sure we will. And Mrs. Jones, stay away from that teapot.
There will now be a short interval if you would like to join us in the ballroom for some tea and coffees. Thank you.
Facing a bush, he's got a big beard and lots of hair, heavy mortgage, he's got a big house and works non-stop. Di, who had an accident and lost a bit of his leg, he's Di up and down. And then there's Di 18 months, of course.
Die 18 months?
Yeah, lost half his year in an accident, so he's got a year and a half.